Knowing that my second night was supposed to be a full 10 degrees warmer than my first, I took advantage of some extra space in Tushonka's pack so I could bring along something very special. Hammocks are one of the lightest sleeping systems to use when accessing the backcountry. There is a harmony to it like no other. A harmony where you can pretty much set up anywhere you like, as long as there are 2 trees to hang between. And that can be exciting, as it frees you from having to use what some would call the normal campsite. Unfortunately, however, I've had to give up on that kind of excitement due to the gathered or whipped ends on the standard backpacker's hammock. Time and time again, I would find myself with one reoccurring issue. Because of the compression of my shoulders and ribs due to the material gathering up around them, I would find my pain level increasing and my ability to breathe severely restricted. So it's been a while since I've used my backpacker's hammock, and it's become clear that I needed something different, a hammock that was less like a bean pod and more like a bed. So I decided to do a little research and try to put a little bit of that excitement and freedom back into my life. I found the Ridgerunner hammock relatively early in my search, and soon found myself comparing it to every other solution I found to my hammock problems. I didn't know it at the time, but the Ridgerunner would eventually force me to compare it to sleeping systems many times its price and weight. Known as a bridge-style hammock, the Ridgerunner offers a level sleeping area by utilizing 2 extremely lightweight spreader bars that are uniquely integrated into the suspension system rather than the hammock itself. And although the Ridgerunner takes on a strange trough-like appearance, I found myself completely taken with the fact that it did not wrap around my ribs or shoulders in the slightest way. Usually my shoulders are being crushed by the hammock being compressed on both ends, but I'm not feeling any of that right now. I could actually go to sleep right now. Although my friends at Warbonnet warned me to set up the Ridgerunner at home a few times before taking it out into the field, I decided to bend these instructions a little bit. Many of us don't have the space or the help to set up such an item in or around our home. So I decided to cut the test setups down to 1, learn all that I could, and then soon after take it out hiking. As I pulled the Ridgerunner out for the first time, I instantly found myself impressed by the quality of craftsmanship and how extremely lightweight the Ridgerunner was. I was expecting the spreader bars to double the pack weight, but by making them from extremely lightweight materials and in switching their jobs from load-bearing to compression, Warbonnet was able to keep the Ridgerunner in the ultralight category. The simplicity in the height adjustment mechanism makes hanging and adjusting the Ridgerunner go extremely fast. That is, once you get the hang of it. But noticing that those with hand and dexterity issues could have a problem operating the buckles themselves, my mind seemed to instantly hit upon an idea that I quickly put into use in the field for testing. However, since then, I've come up with an easier way. Basically, just going to make one of these. Be a little careful, these are spring loaded. Alright, now you end up with 2 of them, so you can put one on one end, one on the other. Now, these are only made of pine, so I want to be able to replace this. If this breaks or gets chewed up, you know, I want to be able to just replace it easy and keep going. So, I'm just going to put what's known as a fisherman's noose on the end of this, so that if I need to, I can
loosen it with a little bit of effort. Okay. Slip the old one out and slip the new one in. And then just slide that tight to replace it. Okay. Now, the fisherman's noose. It took me a little while to learn this too, so I suppose any knot will do, okay, in a pinch. The fisherman's noose kind of goes like this. Alright. Now, there's several versions of this, but this is the one I use, okay? You put your rope or your line through the fisherman's hook or around the stick here, and then you twist the stick. I went 3 times, okay? Then you take the end, and you'll notice you'll have a little bit of a hole here that you can, there it is, there you can see it. You feed that through here, alright? Now don't lose hold of all this up here, alright? Hang on, because you're going to need that loop as well that you just made, and you're going to put it through that hole as well, okay? And then you're going to pull everything tight, alright? Everything tight, and then move your noose. And yes, this is called a noose, by the way. Down the line until it tightens. Okay. Now you'll notice you can tighten things little by little and get it tighter and tighter until that noose is really snug on there. Okay. I ain't going nowhere. That's stiff. Alright. Now, I have 2 of them for a reason, because I'm actually going to put one on each end of my hammock. So it's hanging there and ready to use. I don't have to search for it or anything. It's literally hanging there like a key, because once I get this done, this is not going to add any weight to my hammock. This is going to be very, very lightweight, and I mean, if it adds a gram or 2, you know, I'd be surprised. I cut my string or shoelace in half here, and I put a knot in the end here. Alright, and if I knot the end of it, you know, it'll keep it from fraying. Okay, now this is just a simulation, of course. This is the standard buckle for the Ridgerunner. Okay, it goes up to my carabiner on my tree here in that direction, and then this is the hammock side. Okay, now this key is actually made so I can adjust this a lot easier. How you use this is, before there's too much weight in here, use this to get between the buckle. The reason I call it a key is because now you're going to take it and turn it to its side. Bring it up, tilt the block, and it slides down. Bring it up, tilt the block, and it slides down. This buckle is very secure. I like how it works, because once you take this out of there, you have a strong system that is not going to slip. I actually took a safety pin and I put it in here to see how much it would slip, because I knew if it slipped, that safety pin would either move one way or the other on the line. I think I evened it up like right on the edge here or something like that. So I would even know if it slipped even a little millimeter, I would know. Nothing, not a little tiny bit. I was in love with this thing. I really was, right from the start.
Besides having a killer suspension system, the Ridgerunner comes equipped with a pass-through sleeve for your sleeping mat, as well as 2 large saddlebags inside for your gear. And to top it off, a fully enclosed bug net that is guaranteed to keep the little buggers out. Once I'd switched out my tent, I was set for another great night's sleep in the Ridgerunner. But not before a few hours of trading stories around the campfire.
And it becomes easier to think of life that way.
Okay, good night, Larry. Come on, Toshonka. Come on. After a good night's rest in the Ridgerunner, don't be surprised if you come down with a serious case of CSAS, chronic snooze alarm syndrome.
This is comfort.
The following morning, it was pretty obvious. I had succeeded. I'd regained some of the freedom that I once had. And there was only one thing left to do. I had told my friends at Warbonnet there was only one way to improve upon a product such as the Ridgerunner. So here goes.
Dark glasses keeps the sunlight from my eyes. When my days are black, emotions crack and paint the evening sky. I have nothing they will not cast upon the waves. I'm just a pawn in their bottom line and the ways that they behave. I live in all the inner strength and the sun still seems to shine. The rain that falls on every life and the cold days that make us wise. It's not useless to struggle endlessly in vain.